looking back at the good times before it all went down. Climbed right up on the hillside.
I'm Brittany, this is Mama's Timeout, and I hope you enjoy this video. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am coming to you from my kitchen. We are going to cook 4 easy freezer breakfast meal ideas. I'm super excited to bring these to you guys, especially since a lot of people are home now, and I know if your kids are anything like mine, they eat breakfast twice, 5 snacks a day, lunch, dinner, you name it. So I want to be prepared this week and kind of have things ready. So I'm going to make 1 meal for me. I'm going to make 2 meals for them, and then also we're gonna make some muffins. So stay tuned if that is something that you like. Also wanted to mention that this video is in collaboration with my best friend here on YouTube, Amber from Boss Mom Hustle. You guys know who she is. Don't forget to go click her link down below when you are finished with my video and go check out her. She's gonna have 4 meal ideas for you as well. Let me know if you like any of them. If you try them, tag me over on Instagram so I can share you back with my community. Let's jump into it. Before we jump into it, I also wanted to mention, if you're new, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button. We would love to have you as a part of our YouTube family. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like meal prep videos, and I will have a meal prep planning free printable down in the description box below, so go ahead and check that out. Okay guys, the first meal that we are doing today is a super easy breakfast casserole. This is all you're going to need to make this. So some ham crescent rolls or some kind of pastry for the bottom, eggs, mild cheddar, some milk I didn't grab out, and you want to preheat your oven to 350. Okay, so for this first meal, you're gonna wanna use a 9 by 13 inch baking pan, and you're gonna wanna spray the bottom of it just so that nothing sticks, especially since we're using cheese on top. So the first thing that we are going to do is unroll the crescent rolls and then place them in the bottom like a crust. So you don't have to take them apart or anything, just lay it in the bottom and flatten it out to the sides. The next thing that you're going to do is prepare your meat, whatever kind of meat you want to use. And you don't have to use any meat at all. I use meat because my boys love it, and we happened to have these ham steaks already. You could use ham lunch meat, you could use bacon or bacon bits, you could do sausage, like ground sausage, and ground it up and fry it up and then put it in your meal. So whatever kind of breakfast meat you would like to use, you can add to this. And then you're gonna need 6 eggs. So you're gonna crack them all in a big bowl and then prepare them however you would prepare scrambled eggs. So we always do salt and pepper and a little bit of milk. You could do everything but the bagel seasoning, however you would wanna prepare your eggs. And then the next thing that you are going to do is dump the egg mixture all over the top. And then last but definitely not least, and you don't want to forget it, my favorite part is you're going to top it with cheese. And again, you can use whatever kind of cheese you want. I used mild cheddar because that is what we had. It is shredded, and I did use the entire bag, which is 2 cups. So you're then going to put it in the oven at 350, and it is going to bake for 30 minutes. Once it is done, this is what it looks like. Oh my gosh, you guys, it is so good. It smelled so good. My husband wanted to know if we were having it for dinner that evening. So definitely a family favorite of ours. So next up is going to be egg cups. Now I did make these for myself for breakfast. They're just a healthier version, so I didn't want like all of the carbs in the breakfast casserole. So I am just using broccoli. That is what I happened to have. And then I am going to make these in my air fryer. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is just pop the broccoli in the microwave since it is in a steamable bag. And then you're going to do your eggs in a bowl. Now I used the same bowl that I used to mix the scrambled eggs because it's pretty much the same ingredients that I'm gonna be using. This way that I had less dishes to do. So I actually used 8 eggs and I have 8 baking cups. I used silicone baking cups, but I probably would do 6 eggs next time. It was a little too much because I wasn't thinking with the broccoli being in the bottom that it would take up a little bit of room. So the next thing that I did was spray my silicone baking dishes. You don't have to, but I did because I thought it would help with it not sticking. Then I just cut up all of my broccoli, placed it into the bottom of the cups, and then I'm going to put the egg mixture right on top. My tip for you is to use a measuring cup to put the egg mixture into the silicone cups. It's just a lot easier. It's a lot easier than a spoon. You could probably use a ladle too. I just find this is easiest. And then once you are finished putting all of the egg mixture into the cups, you're then going to top it with cheese. Now, the other kind of cheese that I had was Colby Jack, so that is what I used in this case, but you could use Swiss, mozzarella, you could use cheddar, whatever you would like. You don't have to use cheese at all. So I'm then going to take them and place them in my air fryer. I did use the trivet that goes in the bottom just so that there would be enough airflow around the eggs for them to cook. And they did spill over, but that's okay because they were pretty easy to clean up. So I did these 4 at a time, and then I just turned it to air fry and did them for 8 minutes. So I think mine automatically goes to 350 or 300 on the air fryer. I think next time, to be honest with you, I would probably do these in my Instant Pot. You could do them in an oven. There's so many ways that you could do them, and Pinterest has tons of recipes. You could also do other vegetables, other cheeses. So they are super fun to play around with, and it's really easy to make them super healthy and a lot healthier than like the other meals that I was making. So this is a play on French toast. I wanted to do something fun for the boys, so I found this recipe on Pinterest. It's like a French toast roll-up, and these are the ingredients that you're gonna need. On that plate was just cinnamon and sugar. I mixed it together. So what you're gonna do first is just take out as many as you want to do. That's how many slices of bread that you take out. So I did 12, so I pulled out 12 slices of bread, and then what you're going to want to do is just cut the crust off. So I just did this in piles, as you can see. I didn't do it individually, and it works out. The one tip that I do have for you guys that I don't do in this video is I would flatten out your bread a little bit. It does help to be able to put the cream cheese on top, and also using room temperature cream cheese is a lot easier so that it doesn't rip the bread. So the next thing that you're gonna do is take your cream cheese and you're gonna put it on top of the bread. I just did a little bit. You could also do Nutella. I was gonna do some with Nutella, but I didn't realize that my kids had eaten it all. So I just used this whipped cream cheese that I had, and they turned out really good. The boys absolutely love them. So the next step is to place some strawberries. You probably could do any kind of fruit. We just did strawberries because that is what the boys like. And then you are going to roll them up. Now, once they are rolled up, you're gonna crack. I cracked 2 eggs. Next time I would do 3 because I did run out at the very end. But you're just going to roll them in the egg mixture and then roll them in the cinnamon sugar before we bake them. If you want to do these in the oven, or the stovetop, I would definitely suggest doing melted butter on top just to make them a little bit softer. They turned out okay in the air fryer. I think next time I would bake them in the oven and then I would reheat them in the air fryer. But these have been super, super easy to reheat in the air fryer. So I put them in the air fryer and I just did it again on air fry, and I did them for 5 minutes, checked on them, and then did them for a few more minutes. So this is what they look like. They don't look the most appetizing, but the boys absolutely loved them. All right, so last but certainly not least is an absolute family favorite of ours is chocolate chip banana muffins. We absolutely love them. So I am just showing you guys all of the ingredients that I had pulled out. You're gonna need eggs, bananas, salt, flour. You're gonna need butter, which we're gonna melt. You're also going to need sugar and baking soda. So I am just starting out by melting my 2 sticks of butter in the microwave. Now I did double my recipe. I'll go ahead and leave the link in the description box below for you guys to be able to use. But I doubled it, so I am using twice the amount of everything that you would normally use. So the first thing you're going to want to do is just spray your pan down so that nothing sticks. You could also use some silicone baking cups. You could use regular cupcake liners. I don't like to use any kind of liners because I think they freeze better, but that is completely up to you. So the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to pour the butter into whatever bowl you're using. I have this mixer that we had gotten at Aldi a long time ago, and it's so amazing when it comes to making like muffins or any kind of cookies. It's just so much easier, and I think it's less tiring because I don't have to mix it myself. But you could also use a hand mixer. So I am just putting all of the wet ingredients in. So that was the bananas, the butter, the vanilla, and then you're gonna let that mix. And then once it comes to like a creamy consistency, that's when you're gonna go ahead and add the sugar. Now this recipe called for 3/4 of a cup, but again, I doubled it. So I did 2 3/4 cup. You can also use brown sugar. I do play around with my recipes as well. It calls for some salt and some baking powder or baking soda. And then it also calls for 3 cups of flour. So I gradually add the flour in, and some of the recipes say to mix all of the dry ingredients together and then dump them in. I've always just done it this way and they turn out fine. So adding all of your flour in, and then like I said with the egg cups, I always use a measuring cup to put the mixture into the cupcake pan, and I think it works out a lot better. So that is my tip for you, is to use a measuring cup to be able to put the mixture into the container. Last, I'm going to add the chocolate chips. Now you don't want to do this with your beaters going because it will grind them up, but I just dump them in and then mix it around so that it is well mixed. And then we are just going to fill our cupcake pans, and we are going to bake these in the oven at 350, and I keep an eye on mine. When you press on the top and they bounce back, most of the time they are done. You can also stick a knife in the center, and if it comes out clean, then they are done as well. The only thing about banana muffins is if you overcook them, they're not as good. So I definitely would keep an eye on them. So we're gonna stick them in the oven and we're gonna get these baked up. So here I am just showing you guys how I bag it all up. I did it just in gallon Ziploc baggies. If you're not going to be using them in, I would say maybe a month's time, I probably would do them in a Ziploc baggie, put a foil around it, and then do them in another Ziploc baggie, just so that they don't get freezer burned. So the egg cups I did in 2s because that's how I'll eat them. And then the roll-ups, the French toast roll-ups, I did in 4s because that's how the boys will eat them. And at the end, the casserole I did in squares of 2 because that, again, that's how the boys will eat them. So I'm gonna let you guys see how I pack these up, but we are coming to the end of this video. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Again, don't forget to subscribe. We would absolutely love to have you as a part of our YouTube family. We will see you guys on Sunday for a Get It All Done video. I hope you guys are ready for it because it's gonna be a good one. And don't forget to go down in the description box below and check out my friend Amber's video. She's gonna have 4 more meals for you guys that I know you are absolutely going to love.
Let's talk. Meet me at the avenue. I don't need nobody else but me. It doesn't matter what you're gonna say. I see time right now. I'm going alone tonight. I don't need nobody else but me.